How about the Cowboys? Got word that they were eliminated from the playoffs before they took to the field against the Bucs on Sunday night. And despite being decimated with injuries, Cowboys won the game and have managed to win 4 of their last 5. Jerry Jones had effusive praise from Mike McCarthy, who's in the last year of his contract, by the way, after that Tampa win. Here is Jones talking McCarthy today on his Dallas radio show.
Bottom line, I can't tell you how proud I am of the way that the coaching staff, led by Mike McCarthy, the way the leadership on this team, and really proud of these young players. They just are growing mentally and physically by leaps and bounds. Makes me think we've got outstanding future ahead of us.
Shay, you heard it. Should the Cowboys bring Mike McCarthy back next season?
Yeah, if you're okay with winning the division and being one and done, absolutely. Why not? That's what you get. You do what you've always done. You'll get what you've always gotten. But you know, one of the biggest detriments to greatness is expectations. You see, when you don't have any expectations, look at the Cowboys when they had no expectations versus when they had expectations to start the season, guys. Now, all of a sudden, they have nothing to play for. They can throw caution to the wind. Oh, they're winning. I'm glad the way he kept the team together. The leadership. Where was the leadership in the first 10 games? Where was the leadership in the first 12 games? There was none. Now, all of a sudden, if you thought so highly of him, why did you give him a contract extension? And what has he done to want to make you think now he's the guy to lead us into the future? I'm confused. You don't make the playoffs, and you're thinking about keeping him. When you go 12-5 for 3 consecutive years, you don't extend him. Am I missing something? You know, guys, hey, I understand I didn't graduate magna cum laude. I graduated thank you, Lordy. But what am I missing, guys?
Thank you, Lordy. That's the first time. Thank you, Lordy. Go ahead.
Good, great.
Thank you, Lordy.
All right, so I'm going to say this. Without knowing who you're going to replace him with, I think you bring him back. Bill Belichick's at Carolina, and we're all happy about that, I know, at the desk. And so as we're talking about Mike McCarthy, I do understand what you're saying about expectations and what you have, and they have not met expectations in the playoffs. Was he 1-3 with the Cowboys in the playoffs, Mike McCarthy? But it's when you have Dak, when you have Micah Parsons, you got CeeDee Lamb playing with a bum shoulder, all coming to to back Mike McCarthy. Bill Belichick's at Carolina, and we're all happy about that, I know, at the desk. And so as we're talking about Mike McCarthy, I do understand what you're saying about expectations and what you have, and they have not met expectations in the playoffs. Was he 1-3 with the Cowboys in the playoffs, Mike McCarthy? But it's when you have Dak, when you have Micah Parsons, you got CeeDee Lamb playing with a bum shoulder, all coming to to back Mike McCarthy. I think that speaks volumes for what they have going. They're playing hard, and you're talking about why hadn't this happened before. They did bring in a brand new defensive coordinator. It took time for their defense to find their suit. They've been playing better defensively. Again, winning with Cooper Rush, upsetting the Tampa Bay Buccaneers when you find out you're eliminated from the playoffs. All of that stuff matters. Again, the expectations, and the thing for Shannon, I think, is different. You played on some really, really good teams. I don't mean, and I mean great when I say really good teams. Winning the Super Bowls, being in Baltimore, you played for some really well-coached teams and done it that way. I'm not sure, though, that there's that many head coaches that are going to be better than McCarthy unless you tell me who we're talking about. That's going to be the hardest thing for me.
Here's the deal. My poor buddy Jerry. I just don't know what to say about it. Listen, you just see this, and Shannon's absolutely right. It's pretty pathetic. It's pretty pathetic when you're applauding, because how you perform under duress matters more than how you perform when there's nothing at stake.
Yeah, that's true.
And this is what the Dallas Cowboys have done. Now, 2 of their last 4 victories in those 5 over that 5-game period have come against the Commanders, obviously so, and against Tampa the other night. I got that respectable wins. We get all of that part. The other 2 is against the Giants and Carolina. But my whole thing about the Dallas Cowboys is, once again, they missed the moment. See, it's one thing to call for a coach to be fired. I don't think anybody should look at Mike McCarthy and say the man can't coach, he should be fired.
Yeah.
But there would have been nothing wrong with saying, we respect you, Mike. That's a 6-time Super Bowl champion as a head coach over there.
Yeah.
And that is a resolution for our problems to some degree with the talent that we have in here to such a degree. Not to say that the Dallas Cowboys have Super Bowl championship talent, because clearly they don't. But certainly you got cats that could be worked with an elite coach. So you go out and you get Bill Belichick. They didn't do that.
Yep.
And it's because you didn't do that. Okay, so you're with Mike McCarthy now. This is what you have. And you have the bevy of injuries to lean on to say, yo, Shannon, there's a whole bunch of dudes that got hurt that weren't available. Mm-hmm. So we really didn't get an opportunity to see what we could really do if we had all of our horses. So let's run it back. I would say hell no to that if there was a Bill Belichick out there. The problem is he's gone. He's in Carolina now, college.
Yeah.
Okay, at least for a year.
Tar Heel.
At least for a year.
Tar Heel.
It's a buyout after 1 year.
Tar
It's a
Heel.
buyout after 1 year. $1 million buyout.
Tar Heel.
A $1 million buyout after 1 year, Jeff Saturday.
Tar
I mean,
Heel.
you know his ass is going to be gone in a year. Just stop that right now. And his son is already
You a hater.
His son is already the defensive coordinator in Tar Heel country. I see what the hell. A blind person can see what the hell's going on in Carolina. But
this is where we are.
It is.
Close to us.
It is what
Close
it is,
to us.
Shannon. I can't say that they're wrong for standing pat because of all the injuries. If all of those dudes were healthy, that would be different. But with all the injuries, I can see where they're going. It ain't going to help them, but I can see where.
When all of them was healthy, they were getting their eyes beat out. Did you see what New Orleans did to them? Did you see what the Ravens did to them? Did you see what Philly did to them? They had all of their guys, and they got their eyes beat out.
Yeah.
Listen, the problem that you have with the Cowboys, and I'm not so sure it's the coach, because the coach only has the coaching title. He doesn't have any of the responsibilities. He doesn't have any say on the final 53. He doesn't have any say in free agency. He doesn't have any say in the draft. It's almost like a general manager of a restaurant. He hires a James Beard or a Michelin 5-star chef, and then he tells said guy what to prepare and how to prepare it. That is Jerry Jones. He's the general manager, and he's telling his James Beard award winner or his Michelin 5-star chef what to prepare, the ingredients that he needs to cook with. That is the problem. The question is, Saturday, do you think Ben Johnson would do a better job, the offensive coordinator of Detroit? Do you think he would do a better job than Mike McCarthy? Because at some point in time, you can't be locked into fear, says, well, we can't find somebody. Hey, I'm sure they didn't think they were going to find anybody in Green Bay, but look at Matt LaFleur.
Yeah.
Ta-da. And nobody has had the prosperity over the last 35, 40 years at quarterback like Green Bay, and they only got 2 Super Bowls to show for it. But I like the position that they're in with LaFleur and Jordan Love. Sometimes, I don't know if you gamble Saturday, but Stephen A., you come to Vegas, hey, sometimes you got to roll the dice and hope you don't crap out.
That's right.
Well, I don't roll dices. I'm at the blackjack table. That's just me. But I got you.
I mean, for a